moving along, we've got 10 minutes. Travel.
All right.
Can I retire in Australia, get a full pension and go live in Bali?
You can, but it won't be the full pension, but it'll be very, very close.
Right.
So the rules, and this is very important for it's only age pension we're talking about here. Different payments have different rules for going overseas. For the age pension, if you are temporarily going overseas, the first 6 weeks, there'll be no change to your pension rate. Everything stays exactly as it is. In fact, if you're going overseas for 6 weeks or less, you don't even need to let us know about it.
A little worldwide trip.
Yep, and you're back within 6 weeks, it's all fine. After 6 weeks, your pension concession card is cancelled. You can reapply for it when you get back if you're eligible, but you lose it after 6 weeks if you're travelling overseas. What happens is that your pension rate then reduces as you lose some of the supplements that you get with the pension. So you'll notice there'll be a drop in your pension rate from 6 to 26 weeks.
So some of the supplements, is that like a rent assistance?
No, rent assistance is a different rule. So every fortnight pension that you get, you're going to see that there's a figure in your bank account.
Yeah.
That figure is actually made up of mostly age pension, but also supplements.
What are some of the supplements?
Well, they're down to there's
creatine shakes, whey shots or something.
In the past, they used to actually list them individually. There were things like telephone allowance, and there was an internet supplement.
Just ancillary stuff.
Pharmaceutical benefits supplement, that's what they've all lumped it together. There's the senior supplement and then electricity supplement, I think they're called. Now, some of them are not payable when you're overseas. So it goes back down to the basic rate. It's automatic.
Yep.
You just notice that there's a reduction in your pension rate. And it stays at that rate for 26 weeks, from 6 to 26 weeks. And it's only at 26 weeks onwards that things get a little bit more complicated. So at that point, if you're still overseas, we're going to look at what's called your Australian working life residence.
Oh, sounds sexy.
It's how long you've lived in Australia between the ages of 16 and age pension age. And if you've lived here for 35 years or more, then your pension rate won't change. You'll continue to get the same rate that you're getting beforehand, and it'll just keep going through until you return to the country.
But, so it's the rack rate, not the supplements.
Yes, the supplements have stopped.
Yes.
Yeah, so they stay off and they won't come back until you return to Australia. If you leave Australia permanently, the Australian working life residence comes into play immediately. So instead of the 26 weeks, we look at how long you've lived in Australia between 16 and 65. We then work out what that rate will be and we'll pay you that rate. And it could be that you live in Bali for the rest of your life. And because you were in Australia for more than 35 years, you get the majority of your age pension, the supplements, and that just keeps paying for you indefinitely while you're overseas. If you've been in Australia for less than 35 years between the ages of 16 and age pension age, then whatever proportion you've been here is the proportion of pension you're going to get.
Right.
So if I've been here for 10 years out of 35, and I love this because it's horrendous maths to say, then I will get 10/35 of the age pension being paid to me. And I'll get that for the rest of the time that I'm away. However, that's the pension portability rules. The income and assets test is always in play. Remember that. And the big one here is the family home, because you're only allowed to be absent from the family home for 12 months before we count it as an investment property. We make you a non-homeowner and treat the family home as an investment property.
Just on that, for everyone playing at home, that is different than the ATO 6-year rule.
These are Services Australia. So whose door have you gone through? You've gone through the door of Services Australia. These are Services Australia's rules. So with the travelling long-term overseas, at 12 months away, forgetting the portability rules, we're going to be looking at your family home and we're going to look at are we going to be counting that? So keep in mind the income and assets test at all times. You might meet the portability requirements, but if the family home comes into play, that could have a significant impact on your pension rate while you're away.
Yeah, and I think that's a good myth because from summarising what I'm hearing from you, you can live in Bali from age 67 to 75 and continue to receive the age pension, but after 12 months, your family home's coming online, it will probably knock you off the pension anyway, and you'll have to eat that.
Yes, very possible.
Now, if you've always been a renter and you don't have any money and the only money you've got in the world is the fortnightly amount that's coming to Centrelink, you could live in Bali forevermore, amen, and have a great quality of life.
I had a customer who renting inner city, loved living in the inner city, but knew he could, even with a very decent superannuation fund, he knew he could never afford to buy in the inner city. And so he moved to Sri Lanka. And he could buy a very decent home in Sri Lanka for very little usage of his super, still have a pension eligibility because his family home is exempt, and still have access to his super at the same time. And so his pension was being paid for the rest of his life, had somewhere to live, and had superannuation to play with at the same time. Yep, works fine for him.
But this actually goes back to one of my key tenets in money. We don't make plans on how do we pay the least amount of tax, or we don't make plans on how do we get the maximum pension. We make plans, what do we want to do with our life? We move in that direction and let the cards fall where they may and plug the money into our life plans.
Yep.
So if you wanted to live in Bali forevermore, amen, sell your house, invest the money, live off the returns, you're all good. It's pretty simple because you want to live there for whatever reason.
Yep. Live the lifestyle that you're after. That's all about living the lifestyle.
Then if you want to come back to Australia and buy a cheaper downsized house and you move that money back into a house that you live in, so you've sold the $2 million house, you've lived in Bali for 10 years, lived off your own savings, moved back to Australia, you got $1 million left, buy a house with $1 million, then you get your full pension again. Like, it's not rocket science.
Yep.
Or brain surgery or rocket surgery.
It's the one.
Hey, it's Glen here. Thank you so much for watching today's video. You made it to the end. Can I ask a favor? Can you hit that like button and maybe hit subscribe if you want to get notified when we release further videos just like this one, whether you watch the Money podcast or Retire Right. And remember, if you want to learn more about investing, I've got an investing book, The Quick Start Guide to Investing, and there's a link in the description to get your hands on a copy. Thank you so much. Bye.